I got my man JD here. We're chatting about week one and looking forward to week two. We are both 2-1, and Chris is 1-2 because this yuppie picked the Philadelphia Eagles to beat the Atlanta Falcons. Wasn't going to happen. We knew it, but he was very, very hopeful. So, did you see anything from week one that really stood out to you? Like for me, I thought Marcus Mariota. Did you see that, by the way?
Absolutely.
Kid came out 4 touchdowns in the first half. Didn't get much more. Um, I don't think many people had him in this fantasy league. Did you see him starting in your fantasy league anywhere?
No, he was on the milk carton, as we like to call it.
I'm sure a lot of people were kind of hurt that they didn't play him. I played Peyton Manning, and that proved to be a mistake because they got one offensive touchdown. I mean, they won, so I guess it's better than nothing.
All right, before we start going into Peyton and just relax over there about my boy, all right? Uh, let's talk about Chris going 1-2. I mean, if I had to sum that up, I would say even the sun shines on the dog's ass once in a while. So, I mean, we'll just call that a luck pick for today, all right? And that's headed into week two. So anybody that ever wanted to know where I stand, well, that's where I'm at.
Well, before we go to week two, though, I want to kind of touch back on this. You originally picked the Giants, okay? And I was, strong and true as well as Chris with my Cowboy pick. Now, luckily, you flip-flopped. You went to, hey, let's go ahead and take the Cowboys because you thought they were going to win. However, watching the game, towards the end, you didn't think it was going to happen.
Well, I actually flipped my pick for this reason and this reason only. Dallas was at home. You know, going into week one, you really don't know where anybody is, obviously. But week one, you got to go with home teams, home team advantages, things like that. So, if the Giants were at home, it'd be a whole different story. I would have took the Giants, and the Giants should have won that game. I mean, first of all, the fact that they even won. I mean, Dallas had a rabbit's foot in his pocket after that.
So you think if the Giants were at home, Coughlin would have decided to learn from Pete Carroll's mistake and not throw the ball on such a crucial down?
Wow. It's bad when they talk about you being Pete Carroll in this day and age. I mean, you want to talk about another genius that learns how to lose games. I mean, let's run an onside kick in overtime, right? Let's make up for last year's bum decision with another great decision. I mean, who does he think he is? Nostradamus? He's just predicting the future. He's trying to make up for last year's call. Um, anyway, back to the Giants. I mean, if they were at home, yeah, sure. I think it's a different game. I don't think. I think Odell Beckham would have had a better game. I think the running game would have been a little bit better. But at the end of the day, uh, the Giants don't deserve to win that game. They lose the game. I don't think Dallas wins that game necessarily. But the question is now is, what happens with Des Bryant not being in the game? You got to deal with that now. Terrence Williams?
He's out 4 to 6 weeks, and in week four, we've got the Patriots, and of course, they have Tom Brady back. So I was kind of hopeful that we were going to beat them. However, without Des Bryant, I'm not entirely certain how that's going to work out. But moving forward to week two, the first game we've got is Denver at Kansas City. Now,
First of all,
hold on, but Alex Smith went 22 for 33 for 243 yards last week. They absolutely, and that was short. Remember, they were leading that entire game. He didn't have to throw the ball. I think Denver's defense looked good. I mean, that was the best defensive game we've seen so far this year. I don't think that Denver's going to be able to stop Alex Smith. Joe Flacco was not on point. I'm going to have to go with Kansas City here. I wanted to pick Denver initially, but watching how they came out flat, I think I've got to go with Kansas City.
you got another thing coming. I got Payton coming back, lighting up 3 touchdowns at least here. Demarius gets in the end zone. He finds a way to get it done. Emmanuel Sanders gets in the end zone. But more importantly, I see a better running game from C.J. Anderson. I think that's going to happen. I think total all-team package wise, I think if you shut down Jamal Charles, which their defense will come in with a game plan to do that, I don't see Alex Smith beating me in no way, shape, or form. And if I'm a defensive coordinator, I'm gonna give him every opportunity to beat me. Because if he can beat my defense single-handedly, then they deserve to win. All right, and that's a fact.
So you see it as a matchup between Alex Smith and Peyton Manning. because you think Denver's defense will shut down Jamar Charles. And I think they will too. I mean, they came out and they were not letting anything go defensively against the Ravens last week.
And the Ravens aren't a bum team either. They like to run the ball, and Justin Forsett is not a pushover either. So again, I'm gonna go with Denver here on this one. Matter of fact, they're favored. Kansas City's favored to win and win by 3. Not only does they're not gonna cover that spread, I have Denver winning outright, and I got them winning by 7. How about that?
Okay. So Sunday night game, we got Seattle at Green Bay, which is a rematch of the championship game, which I'm glad Green Bay didn't win, seeing as how, the Cowboys and Des Bryant kind of went out of it. But, also, this goes back to a couple years ago, that catch in the end zone that was kind of called in Seattle's favor, but the Green Bay receiver certainly had it.
Oh yeah, that was a big play. To kick this off here, first of all, this is a tough game to bet. I mean, if you were to tell me to start off the year Seattle's gonna be 0-2, I'd say you're crazy. I mean, there's no way that's gonna happen. But the fact that they got upset last week, and you have a St. Louis team with a Nick Foles at quarterback, scores 34 points. I mean, what's Aaron Rodgers gonna do?
Right.
I mean, you're looking at the most probably efficient offense in the NFL over the past 5 years, arguably. They may not. I mean, lacking Jordy Nelson, absolutely that hurts. But next man up in Green Bay, I mean, take James Jones. I mean, they scraped this bum off the street. James Jones was outside with a can asking for change. I mean, this guy didn't have a job. This guy didn't even have a place to live. I mean, they bring him in. He scores 2 touchdowns. So they're at home. They're in Lambeau. Seattle obviously is weakened defensively. Cam Chancellor's not in the game. What are you gonna say? Are they better defensively without him in there? Absolutely not. I mean, they're a liability right now. But on the other end, can Green Bay stop Marshawn Lynch? Can they stop Jimmy Graham? I don't know. I think this is not your typical Seattle defensive output. I think this is gonna be a lights out shootout here. I'll take the over on the total points there, and I'm gonna go with Green Bay sneaking this one out at the end because your boy Pete Carroll, like Tom Coughlin, is gonna figure out a way to just botch shit and lose this game.
Right, but Green Bay let up 189 yards on the ground last week in a win. So this team was playing from behind and somehow managed to rush for 200 yards nearly. I think it's tough to see that Seattle and Marshawn Lynch, who only got about 75 yards, I think last week, maybe it was 83, is going to come out and not run the ball heavy. Certainly I think Seattle's got a chance. Russell Wilson definitely threw well last week, even though it was coaching. It wasn't turnovers and picks. So I'm going to have to go with Seattle. I don't think there's a chance Seattle loses this game, even though it's on the road, even though it might be in the cold. I mean, 69 degrees, that's not too bad, right? That's kind of Seattle weather. They're down with that.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Hold on. Not just the fact that Green Bay let up nearly 200 yards on the ground. Seattle stifled, and I know it's St. Louis Rams, okay, but only let up 76 yards. They only let up 76 yards on the ground. It's a tough stretch, man. I don't think Aaron Rodgers can do it all by himself. He only threw for 200 yards last week.
Yeah, but again, who are they playing? They're playing St. Louis. All right? I mean, you're not scaring anybody with St. Louis in the running game. It's just not happening. I mean, who's running the show over there? It's supposed to be Todd Gurley, but I don't even think he played. Right? So, I mean, okay, yeah, so they shut him out. But Eddie Lacy's Eddie Lacy, all right? And he's catching passes out of the backfield right now. And you got to remember this. They just got to keep you honest on the ground. Aaron Rodgers will light you up at any given time for 400 yards and 3 touches very quickly.
And lastly, we got the Jets visiting Indianapolis. The Colts. The Colts, man. Your squad didn't do so hot last week. Frank Gore ran for 31 yards. I know they were coming from behind the entire game, so they were very pass heavy. But when you got Frank Gore running for 31 yards, T.Y. Hilton catching for 80, it's tough. I didn't see too much from the Jets defense last week, to be entirely honest with you. But, Fitzpatrick threw for almost 200 yards, 15 of 24. Not too bad, but they ran. They ran for 150 yards. They ate the clock up. And they only gave up 100 yards on the ground. So, what's going to happen here? Yeah. T.Y. Hilton, it's going to be on his shoulders, man. Is he going to be able to make plays or not?
If he's healthy. But do we need him? No, absolutely not. This is the New York Jets. I mean, you want to talk about an organization that knows how to botch things? All right, let me tell you something. The season started a week ago, but only for 28 teams, right? As far as I'm concerned, the Redskins, the Jets, the Raiders, and Jacksonville, they're already looking forward to basketball season. That's a fact, all right? So the New York Jets, yeah, granted, they won last week. Whoop-de-doo. I'm not scared of them. I'm not scared of Ryan Fitzpatrick. I'm not scared of Geno Smith and his broken jaw. Right? He's got a lot to say about this. But we come out with a vengeance. We put the smack down on this bum squad. And we win, and we win comfortably. The point spread is 7. I'm predicting we win by 13 at least. 13 plus.
At home. I mean, they have to get a win, and I think now would be an opportune time. I've got to go with the Colts as well. I think a neat little storyline here is you got, on one end, you got New York Jets acquired Ryan Fitzpatrick, okay, who came out and played pretty well, albeit it was against Cleveland, okay? And then on the other side, you got Andre Johnson is Andrew Luck's new target. I think it's hard to bet against Colts here. As much as I'd love to see him go down and see your agony, I don't see it happening. Oh, and the Jets are might be missing Antonio Cromartie as well.
Right. So you got Revis Island. I mean, he's either going to match up on T.Y. Hilton. If he doesn't play, he's on Andre Johnson. In which case, back again to my two-word statement. Dante Moncrief. All right, he's going to come out in the event if T.Y. doesn't play and have a breakout game. I think we get back to the basics. Bend don't break defense. And letting the ball and controlling the game. I mean, if you get down, 24-0. I mean, any team in this league is becoming one dimension.
All right, so I'm taking the Colts. I think it relies heavily on Frank Gore in the running game. Whether Hilton's in or not, I think Frank Gore has to come out and to put numbers up. Not have to put numbers up. They have to give him the ball more than 8 times. A whopping 8 times you fed him the ball. You're taking Indy.
I'm taking
without a doubt.
I'm taking Indy
by 13.
I'm fine if Frank Gore finds the end zone. Andre Johnson, he finds the end zone if T.Y. Hilton plays. If not, Andrew Luck is going to have a breakout game here. Okay, I have 300 yards, and I have us winning by 13.
All right, so we're 2-1. Chris is 1-2. You guys see the graphic here up on the screen with our picks, and we'll get back to you guys next weekend. By the way, I just want to point this out that Cowboys have a big game Sunday afternoon in Philadelphia. So Philadelphia's kind of feeling hurt about that last loss against Atlanta in Atlanta, but they get to host Cowboys. I don't see it happening. However, they've picked Philadelphia to be the 5-point favorite. I just don't see it happening. Without Des Bryant, it doesn't matter to me.
You guys are losing that game.
Oh, shut up.
Des Bryant, you guys are so one-dimensional. And you don't even have DeMarco Murray anymore. Wait, can we just comment on this?
He's in Philly.
What?
He's in Philly.
Yeah, I know. You don't have DeMarco Murray anymore.
That's right. So, we got DMC, Darren McFadden. I'm down.
Right, and he didn't even crack 65 yards last week. He's not even a starter. Joseph Randall's the starter. Lance Dunbar is your highlight player. Darren McFadden's just there for show. Highlights, sell jerseys, and just to kind of fill roster spots.
Because we couldn't get AP this year. Whatever. We want AP. All right, guys. We'll see you guys next week. Peace out.